Go
Group
start.
chat,
My
yeah.
bad. Oh, everybody, welcome to the Aspire Sports Show. That's my fault. I didn't get Tyler ready. I think I might be muted. Yeah, I'm muted. Everybody, welcome to the Aspire Sports Show. Thank you for waiting. If you've been waiting, that's very, very nice of you. We really do appreciate that.
Kyle really
Tyler,
appreciates it.
Tyler is a busy man, so obviously we got to start at a very specific time. So when you wait for us, we do appreciate it. We wish we could start well, we could start this one earlier. I just don't have the confidence. Let me be honest about it, okay? All right. Anyways, so we're gonna talk about the Monday night game, which I think is gonna be. I don't really know yet what to think of it because I mean it's a divisional game. The Jets are bad, but as long as they got Sam Darnold, I feel like they're still gonna be competitive somewhat. So.
Well, they don't have Darnold.
No, they
Oh,
don't
they
have
It's Joe
him.
don't.
Flacco
Okay, I
tonight.
didn't even
No,
look.
yeah.
I didn't even look to be completely honest because I just who cares about this game? Honest to God. So that makes it even worse. The Patriots are gonna blow them out. So Ryan, why don't you just go ahead and talk about some of your favorite thingamabobbers?
No, hold on.
I don't. I just you go ahead and take it off because I wasn't expecting to host this. So that's
He's
my bad.
reporting live from MetLife Stadium.
It's
He's
because
got to get a sound
let me
system
be
figured
honest.
out.
This is what happened. Okay, we do a countdown. I didn't start the countdown for Tyler, and that's what happened. But he's also getting into the mix of things. So, but yeah. What do you want to talk about first off?
Well, first we're just gonna go through Giggs's his little
Hey.
outline. So, I mean, first we're going to talk about the money line spread over under. So right now, I'll just go ahead and say it. So the spread is 9.5, obviously in favor of the Patriots. The total points right now over under is 42.5, and then the money lines minus 14 or minus 400 for the Patriots, 330 for the Jets. So what about you guys from this standpoint? Do you like if you're betting on one tonight? What are you betting on? Over unders, spread, money line, and the videos went out, Kyle, on the stream.
Oh, really? What the hell? Oh,
Yeah.
I know why. Okay. Should go back up.
Okay.
I'll
So
fix it.
which ones do you guys like? Which one's your favorite? We'll start with Ryan.
Um, I like the Patriots to cover tonight, but I also think I like the under. I could see it being like a 17-7, like 21-10 type game, like really ugly, just ugly all around Monday night game. But hopefully Cam Newton can at least make it exciting, but I just don't see it happening.
And what about you, Gigs?
I'm kind of with Ryan. I obviously like the money line for New England, but minus 460, you're not really making much there. It's
Mm-hmm.
like a little over $3 if you bet 10. I like the under the most, 42 and a half. I don't think either offense is going to be able to move the ball that well. Jets are pretty good at taking away the run, and that's all New England can do. And yeah, I would say that New England probably wins this game, probably not by much, and I like the under.
I'm gonna I'm gonna go with the over for this game. I'm gonna go with the over. I don't think it goes much over, but I feel like they're gonna get to. I'm gonna say right around 44 points is where I am projecting this game. So I think if I'm going to bet, I'm gonna bet on the over for this game. I do think it's ugly, but hey, we also thought that the Broncos game was gonna be ugly too, and it was ugly, but they ended up getting over. So I think over, but I could totally see the other. And Ben, big old Benny, said Jets by 6. Hey, if you want to bet, go and bet Jets by 6. That'd be a pretty good bet there. Throw like $10 on there, make a good little bit of money. Or you could do a parlay. And let's go ahead and just talk real quick. Talk about your parlay for the people real quick, Ryan, because we already have it made up tonight.
Yeah. Luckily now we figured it out where we'll be posting it. So it's on Twitter for the people. Um, Kyle is, I think, posting on the stream as well. But I'll say it right here for the people right now. I think tonight, I think it's a Jamison Crowder game. Whenever Flacco starts, it's just Crowder is a focal point. And to the person that was listening yesterday that needed 30 points from Crowder, I'm still hoping for you. So I included him here tonight just to try to make you happy. But I have him over 55.5 receiving yards for Jamison Crowder to score anytime, and then Cam Newton also to score anytime. A $10 bet on that pays just about $105. I think Cam Newton rushes in tonight, and then Crowder's going to see a ton of targets and ton of and have a ton of receptions. So I see him going over 55.5 yards scoring, and also Cam Newton rushing one in.
Yeah. Oh, Giggs, do you have like a parlay or anything like that you're looking at, or no?
I guess if I was going to do player props, I kind of like Cam Newton over rushing 48.5. I like
Okay.
Mims over 29.5 receiving.
Yeah.
And I like Frank Gore and Perrine over. They're 37.5, and I'm trying to find Perrine. I think he was like 34, 35.5. Patriots can't stop the run, so if this is a somewhat close game, I can see the Jets relying on the run more, and I don't think it's that difficult for Frank Gore and Perrine to both get 40 yards in this game. So I guess I'd parlay those if you were feeling frisky. So Mims over receiving yards, Cam Newton over rushing, and we'll go over with Gore.
I was gonna say my favorite bet probably tonight is probably Gore going over, because I think right now on what is it, like 37.5, I believe is last I look.
I can look it up for you.
Yeah, 37.5 right now. I'm looking at DraftKings. So 37.5. I like the over because, like you said, New England hasn't been able to stop the run this year. So I think that's a pretty decent number that he could get over. So let's go ahead and talk about obviously some fantasy relevant people for tonight's game. We got Cam, obviously, Crowder. If you're in like a season long league, say a 12-man league, is there anybody else you're really considering playing tonight? Obviously, it's really late, so but is there anybody else that you're kind of interested at least in watching tonight? We'll start with you, Gigs.
If I'm in a 10 to 12 man league or 14-man league, doesn't matter. Damian Harris, I still like, even with Sony Michel returning. He's coming off a 100-yard game. Like to see if he can repeat that. And I'm sure a lot of people are holding him as their RB3 or 4. Crowder has been someone I have in a bunch of leagues, and when he's played, he's been great. So he's only played about 4 or 5 games this season. Seeing him back's big. So a lot of people are holding him as a wide receiver 2 or 3. He's going to be someone needs to have a big game if they want to win. But I think outside of that, yeah, Cam Newton. Maybe someone has James White out there. I'm not expecting much from James White. They have 4 running backs getting involved. And then maybe Mims, if people have been holding on to Mims, if it's a dynasty league or something like that, this will give you a preview of Mims. I think he's only played 2 games so far.
And Ryan, what about you?
The Patriots defense. Obviously, this is one of those juicy matchups you kind of wait for, and you like the bad ones. You kind of leave them on your bench if you have an extra spot, just so until they get to play like the Jets. But so the Patriots defense, and I do think Mims. I do kind of like him if it's someone that I'm assuming in most leagues he's a free agent, but I could seeing this being one of those weeks where it's like he becomes like tomorrow we're talking about him being like a decent waiver wire ad, Mims, because I see this could be a game where he catches like a deep touchdown pass and puts up some fantasy points, and he's one of those guys that we're looking at tomorrow. When you make your video tomorrow about waiver wire ads,
I already made it.
Oh.
I already made it. Do you not check our content? Jesus.
Well, you make another one later in the week, right? About ads, or we post about them.
No, I already made it. God, how embarrassing! Sorry, guys. We'll edit that out. No, I already made it. And then I also made a video on Christian McCaffrey. So hey, good plug. If you have Christian McCaffrey, chances are he's not going to play this week. I know that they came out and said that he's day to day, but Rule also said, "Oh, we're going to split series with Mike Davis and Christian McCaffrey." Didn't happen, and now you see why you probably should have split the carries or split series with Christian McCaffrey, because he hasn't played in over 2 months. So hey, idiot, maybe think with your head. Just saying. So if you have Christian McCaffrey, I would definitely go out and watch their video. Some good waiver wire ads. I don't want to say good because they're not good this week. But Mike Davis, obviously, he's probably been dropped. I looked at it and I think he's still rostered in like 60% of leagues, like upwards of 60, 70% of leagues. So he maybe was dropped. So go check if he's available because obviously he's like the top one. But then you have like Matt Breida, who I think is going to step into the offense and just be like the guy. Maybe not like 20 touches, but I think like 15 touches a game, as long as Miles Gaskin is out because hey, Jordan Howard sucks, and it showed this weekend. He's terrible. Okay, they need somebody in this backfield, and I think he'll be a good little a good play for them. And then you also have if David Johnson misses, Duke Johnson's a good pickup, and also the same. Well, I don't want to say the same because I don't really know if you have David Montgomery out this week. I don't know if Cordell Patterson ends up taking on the role. I don't know what happens, but somebody else to keep an eye on is Kalen Balaj because obviously Justin Jackson got hurt and didn't come back in the game. No idea what the hell's going on there. So Kalen Balaj is a decent ad as well. If you absolutely need somebody, although he really wasn't that bad this week, but I guess in Miami he's been pretty terrible. But regardless, let's go ahead and continue on with the show here tonight. So let's go ahead because obviously we want to get into it before game time because we always do this way too late. First touchdown players. So if you have a touchdown player, you know, this is first touchdown player, you make a parlay, whatever you want to do with it. But first touchdown player, let's go to Giggs on both sides.
Yeah, first touchdown. I like Cam Newton. I think that's the safest bet. And on the other side, I'm going to go Perryman. Go outside the box here.
And what's his face? Is Stephon Gilmore playing or is he out
No.
officially?
He's not out.
Okay, he's
Yeah.
out. All right. So yeah, hey, that's not that bad of a pick. Missing their best cornerback.
Hey, Flacco's starting, and he's got a rapport with him. He played with them in Baltimore for at least 3 years.
That's true. But Flacco sucks.
Yeah, he's so good. Come on.
No. I'll go ahead. So I'm gonna say I was looking at this a little bit here, and I think my favorite is going to be Jacoby Myers. Right now, 1,200 plus 1,200 for the Patriots side is going to be my favorite. And then on the other side here, it's ugly. It's ugly. So I think I'm going to probably go with Perriman's also a good play, but I'm going to go Jeff Smith. I'm going to go Jeff
Jacoby
Smith.
Myers, you said, for first touchdown?
That's mine.
Yeah, it says plus 750 on FanDuel.
Yeah, this is DraftKings.
Oh, you're on DraftKings? Okay.
Well,
Well, just for
DraftKings
anybody.
has much better odds.
Yeah,
if you're going to do first touchdown score, always go to DraftKings because about 90% of the time it's way better odds over there. So if you're going to do first touchdown score, go to DraftKings. So mine's going to be who did I say again? Jacoby Myers and Jeff Smith. So Ryan, go ahead with yours.
So at first I was going to say Cam Newton. I know it's safe, but that's who I was going to go with, and that's who Giggs said. And then once that happened, I was going to switch it up to Jacoby Myers, and that's what Ty said. So I don't even I just agree with the two of them. I guess I'll say those were my two favorites as far as first touchdown score for the Patriots. So I'll just double down on those two. And then for the Jets, I'm going to go the third wide receiver out of the bunch, and I'm going to go Mims. After we talked him up a little bit, I do like Mims. So I'll go Mims. He's plus 2,000. As we said that, I put $5 to win 100 on the first touchdown. It's the odds you get on DraftKings right now.
All right, and let's go over to Kyle. What about you, Kyle?
Book it right now, guys. If you're watching, Rex Burkhead. It's obvious. Okay, plus 1,200 odds. I like it. I think that the Patriots are down receivers. This is gonna be a game where they're gonna be using all their running backs, and I think Rex Burkhead's gonna go off. And you gotta think the Jets just lost their starting middle linebacker, so all these running backs are just going to pop off today. And then you want me to do one for the other team because I think he's the guy, so I don't even think you got to bother. But if I'm going to pick one, I'm picking LaMichael P. Ryan. Because again,
LaMichael P. Ryan.
Yeah, LaMichael P. Ryan's the guy tonight. I'm just feeling it. Okay. You'll be texting the chat later. You're going to be like, wow, Kyle was right again. Oh, my God.
Kyle has called a couple of these, honestly, but he doesn't bet on them. No. That's where you need to bet on these. Then you can have the proof. And
maybe I'll make DraftKings account. I still haven't done that yet. I got to do that.
Yeah, and then use my promo code so I get a free bet. Hey. All All right, so let's go ahead into since we're on betting. Well, actually, we'll talk about. We'll come back to this here in a minute. Actually, real quick, have any of you looked at possible like single game slates captains for tonight? If not, I mean, I can do it real quick. I have a couple that I like here.
Mm-mm.
I feel
No.
like Cam Newton's probably the obvious choice for it, but I'm sure there's money saving ways about going about this.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, like, because Cam Newton's obviously, if you're gonna put him in the captain spot, which obviously he's gonna probably be a pretty good captain, but right now it's 19,000. So I know I said Gronk yesterday, although that game yesterday was nobody saw that game coming. Tampa Bay got absolutely manhandled in that game. That was so bad. That was so pathetic. Such a terrible outing for them. So, and I also saw a stat. That was the first time in Tom Brady's career that he's ever gotten swept by a divisional opponent, I think. So that's
Wow.
incredible, first of all. So,
Kudos to Drew Brees.
and also that also speaks to how bad the AFC East has been for years because it's pathetic. So yeah. So I'm gonna just give my captain spot here, who I would go personally. There's a couple different options. Um, honestly, this is not. I I just like Jacoby Myers tonight. Like he's probably like my favorite wide receiver play. And then also if you want another wide receiver, I do think Bird is also a pretty solid play as well. This is on DraftKings. So I'm just looking at DraftKings here for the captain spot. On the other side, like if you're gonna go captain over on FanDuel, really, I mean Cam's 17,000 over there, but also I think somebody like Bird right now he's 9,000, but definitely on DraftKings where these guys are much more expensive and it comes into pricing. I think those two are pretty solid plays in my opinion for captain.
Oh, captain,
Anybody
my
else?
captain.
Jeff Smith plus 5,000 on FanDuel.
Hey, I went to high school with him.
Oh, that's first touchdown score. Hey, that's really good. So if you're gonna bet Jeff Smith, go over to FanDuel plus 5,000.
And if you play Fortnite, go head over to Oludi's channel. Watch him sometime.
Yeah. Oh, Ludi. He a great streamer. He always interacts with everybody. Interacts
What
with
was
everybody.
Get a vibrator?
Oh.
Oh.
So let's go ahead into our next segment here, and we're going to be talking about the previous games. So we got some studs of the week. And Giggs, I'll go ahead and let you talk about some of these studs that you put up here.
Yeah, I figured we'd just highlight the guys that had the best performances this week. We'll start with the quarterbacks. Josh Allen, he went 31 for 38 for 415 yards, 3 touchdowns. I think he also ran one in. I could be wrong. But he had a big game against Seattle. That's basically the theme, guys. Play the quarterback against Seattle. Kyler Murray, he went 21 for 26, 3 touchdowns. He also had 106 rushing yards and another touchdown. He's looking like a fantasy MVP this year. Another guy looking like a fantasy MVP at running back, Dalvin Cook. He had 22 carries for 206 with 2 touchdowns. Also had 2 catches for 46 yards. I know, right? Another theme, play running backs against Detroit. CMC, he got hurt, but he went 18 for 69 with a touch. He also had 10 catches for 82 yards and a touchdown. Really good production from him after they came out and said he was only going to get half the totes. Not so fast, smokescreen. And then if you look at the Chiefs, Mahomes, Hill, Kelsey, they all killed it. Mahomes, he went 30 for 45, 372 yards, 4 touchdowns. Hill, he went 9 for 113 with 2 touchdowns. And Kelsey, just getting it done again. He had 10 catches for 159 yards. Yeah, there was a lot of guys who had big performances at the wide receiver position, not a lot at the running back position, just CMC and Dalvin Cook, really. But there were some other guys like Chark. He did well. He had 7 for 146 with a touch. Samuel had 9 catches for 105 yards and a touchdown. Curtis Samuel's coming on real strong as of late.
Hey, real quick plug. Waiver wire ads of the week. We put a video. He's my top wide receiver ad of the week. One of my top ads of the week, yes, because this is like 3 good performances in a row.
Yes,
right now in
queen.
standard 0.5, he's averaging 18. I believe it's like 18 fantasy points per week the past 3 weeks. So yes, 100% needs to be added. And that's only rostered in like 20% of the leagues too. I believe it was 28%. And real quick, we have something in the chat. MPX said, Antonio Brown got me 6, not 30. Way to go, Ryan. Way to go. You know, you told him to play AB. Me and Giggs
Oh.
were adamant on Crowder. You
be
done
fair,
fucked up.
To be fair, at the end of it, once I saw Gilmore, I backpedaled a little bit. And so when I saw that Gilmore was out last night, I
You
backpedaled
did.
a little bit.
Fair.
And I still probably, at that point, I would have said I probably still would have gone AB, but it would have been like 55-45.
The game
But
was just a disaster.
We've said, yeah, that game was the type of game that sports bettors and sports analysts just want to rip their hair over because none of it made sense.
Yeah, I bet a lot of money was lost in that game last night.
Hey, it's like me and Giggs were both saying the Bucks are overrated.
The
Remember,
Bucks are
Giggs?
overrated.
I never
I-
said they were overrated,
Well,
but
that's what-
I'm not buying all the hype as that their defense is the best.
Oh
in the
wait,
league.
no, it was
Second best
sorry.
in the
That it
whatever.
wasn't Giggs. You're right. I know who it was. I won't say it.
I would say Tom Brady is what, 43 years old? I'm sorry, but as the season progresses, it's not like he's going to get better. He's going to get worse. That
Like a
arm's
Big
going
Ben?
to get tired. Like, it's not. I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm not a believer, but also at the same time, who the hell is going to win the NFC? I have no idea, because then you have Seattle going out there dropping a fucking turd against Buffalo. So who's going to win? I have no idea. We obviously know Pittsburgh's coming around to the AFC. That's a no-brainer. Ryan's sitting there and he's like, dude, shut up, man. Obviously the Eagles are going to go.
No, but the Chiefs are a good team in the AFC.
No, for sure. The Chiefs will probably go again. Let's be for real. So anyways, let's go ahead and continue. Do you think Antonio Gibson will get more touches now that J.D. McKissic did bad yesterday? Oh, J.D. McKissic didn't do bad. He actually had a decent game. J.D. McKissic, I believe, had 9 catches yesterday.
I believe he
for, like-
outscored Gibson.
Yeah. No,
Gibson fell into the end zone close.
Yes, Gibson. That's what I keep trying to tell people. I kept trying to tell everybody, hey, J.D. McKissic, this backfield is much closer. Everybody looked at Gibson's game the other week. J.D. McKissic still outsnapped him. He still outsnapped him. They obviously like J.D. McKissic, and now with Alex Smith as a quarterback, I think that only benefits J.D. McKissic, especially in pre-PR leagues. He's only rostered right now in like 26% of leagues. It should be much higher, especially in PPR leagues. He should be owned like 100% because he's going to be a PPR machine down the stretch with check down Alex back there. All he's going to, check down. And
You think
hopefully
any
a guy
chance they
breaks
go
it.
back to Dwayne Haskins? You think any chance they go back to
I think they should. The football doc says that there's no way Alex Smith is going to be able to handle a full season on his leg. He said there's no way. And I trust his decision. I trust his analysis because he's typically right about everything. Like he never gets anything wrong. So I think they probably should, or they're going to have to bring somebody in. But I would go down. I would go back to Dwayne. What do you have to lose? You suck. So just my take.
And real quick, J.D. McKissic on FanDuel did finish with more points than Gibson.
And it's not that
12.7.
And it's not that Gibson's bad. It's just they like him for some reason, J.D. McKissic. So Gibson has made. I'm pretty sure he's like near the top in tackles avoided this season. I forget what the exact numbers are. I'd have to look him up. But he makes people miss, which is good for a running back. Let's go ahead into the losers of the week. So these are your guys that were duds. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and talk about a couple of them here. So first one, obviously Zeke. Now it was a tough matchup, but honestly, I think Zeke did better than what I anticipated. I really thought that they weren't going to play him as much as they did, but he did better than what I honestly would have anticipated.
Tony Pollard did better than I was.
I think Tony Pollard looks better than Zeke.
I think so
honestly
too.
Might. Yeah, that's what I was
I
thinking.
said in my waiver wire pickups, he looks really explosive. Like when he touches the ball, he explodes on the backfield. Where Zeke, it's not. Zeke is still Zeke though. He's still good. But Tony Pollard definitely looked good. Wayne Gallman.
And Gilbert, I mean.
Hold on, we got one question
true.
in the chat. Wayne Gallman becoming a solid flex option going forward. 3 TDs in the last 3 games. As long as Freeman's out, yeah. I think Freeman, and I talked about this also. Another quick plug: go check out the waiver wire video. I think it's pretty solid. Like I give good information. You should check it out. But Gallman, I think this week, I have a feeling, I could totally be wrong. Freeman was close to coming back last week, but next week they have a bye week. So maybe they sit Freeman this week and then 100%. I think Gallman's honestly like a mid-range RB2. He's been seeing plenty of work, gets passes out of the backfield, plays Philadelphia this week. It'll be a close game, so I do think he's a solid ad this week. And he's only rostered right now in like 20% of leagues as well. So I think he's a pretty good pickup if you need some help at the running back position, especially like a flex play. Even if Freeman does come back, I think he's going to be a solid play. Yes. What were you going to say, Kyle?
I just think with the Steelers game, you got to think, first of all, the Steelers are coming off 2 games. Three? Was it 3 away games or 2 away games? Against 2 tough opponents.
3.
Yeah, so against 2 of them were the Browns too. 3 run-heavy opponents. They lost Tyson Alualu and Mike Hilton. And then Gilbert, Cam Hayward said in the press conference, he's like, at first we just kind of played passive. We didn't really want to rush 5 because we didn't know what to expect. He had those 2 big runs, stuff like that. So, Gilbert honestly might have been, other than Dak Prescott, he's been the best quarterback they've had this year. He actually completed some, really nice throws. If you go back and watch some of the throws he completed, he's not bad. And when he was it the AAF or AFL, AAF or whatever it was, he was their leading scorer, not all time, but he was the leading in yards. I'm not saying he's the future or anything like that. I'm just saying when you bring a guy like that into a game when a team's never game playing against him, you don't know what to expect. And CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, Amari Cooper, Tony Pollard, Zeke, they're all really good. So I don't know. It's something to consider. After the Bucks got blown out, makes me feel a little bit better about the Steelers defense.
And real quick, just in chat, I was saying he did bad because he had 2 bad plays with a drop that led to 2 interceptions at the end of the game. I didn't know that.
Did he really? I didn't see that.
Gibson also fumbled, didn't he?
Did he?
I think Gibson fumbled, yeah.
So
I like Gibson. We're for Gibson. We're free Antonio.
Yeah,
hashtag
I
free
love
Antonio Gibson.
Yeah, Miles, any question you have, ask away, man.
Yeah, if you have any questions, go ahead. Believe me, yes, we are Antonio Gibson truthers, but you also have to look at just the numbers, and the numbers say that J.D. McKissic has been more involved, maybe not touch-wise, but definitely snap-wise, and he's looked good. But I hope Gibson overtakes it.
Real quick, McKissic has the 4th most receptions at the running back position this season. So
PPR stud.
If Gibson were to go out, you would want to have McKissic. So if you're a Gibson owner, I would have McKissic just in case. I know that sounds like a headache because you don't know who to start, but if Gibson does go down, McKissic's someone you're going to want, especially in PPR.
Yes, and actually, let me just double check this because I want to make sure I'm 100%. 24% rostered in leagues this year. That's J.D. McKissic. It should be much higher than that. If he's 4th in receptions and now you have Alex coming in, yes, he's going to have more receptions, so he should definitely be added. Should I trade Marquise Brown for either Aaron Rodgers or Herbert? I would trade him for either or, honestly.
Yeah.
What?
Do you guys have a preference?
I would look at schedule.
Yeah, that's actually true. Let me look at the Chargers schedule because I was going to say him if their schedule's easy.
Do they have a bye week too? Do they have their bye week?
I don't remember if they had it or not.
Were you looking up the Chargers?
The Chargers, yeah.
All right, I can look up the Packers.
Okay. Chargers. I guess I'll have to actually go look at their schedule.
Rodgers already had his bye.
Yeah, so do the Chargers. Week 6.
He's got some tough, not really tough. Even what Yahoo is saying is a tough matchup. Philadelphia is not a tough matchup in the past game. They say they are. Indianapolis and Chicago after Jackson. He'll blow up this week against Jacksonville. He'll stay hot this week. couple tough matchups with Indianapolis and Chicago after that. But then when the playoffs, you're looking Philly, Detroit, Carolina, and Tennessee. Those I like Rodgers' playoff schedule a lot.
What about you have Herbert's right now? His playoff schedule is going to be Falcons, Raiders, and Denver.
Those
I
are
I would definitely go Herbert.
yeah. Those are games
Yeah.
where he's gonna probably get close to 30, if not over.
He
30
also has the
points.
Jets coming up,
Yeah,
the
and the
Bills
Dolphins.
coming
Oh, the
up.
Dolphins actually. I keep forgetting they're good. It's so weird to think
The
about.
Dolphins are actually they have, and that's why I'm not too concerned about. They honestly have Xavier Howard or Xavier, right? Or
I don't
Xavier
remember.
Howard. I forget
No,
He'll
what his
I
accept
don't.
either.
Yeah, I don't think
And
he'll
then they
be
also
mad.
have Byron Davis. So they have two really good cornerbacks, cover corners on that team.
Byron Jones. Let's correct you real quick.
Or
Byron
Byron
Jones.
Jones, yes, sorry.
Byron Davis shooting threes for Golden
Baron
State.
Davis. That's Baron Davis.
My bad.
I'm gonna add J.D. McKissick and drop Tyler Irvin. Yes, I would definitely do that. Hey, thanks, man. We appreciate the sub as always. Um, let's real quick finish up because we were talking about some of the duds this weekend.
And if
You
you
also
haven't already, like the video. We
Yeah,
appreciate
like
it.
and subscribe if you're unsubscribed. We'd appreciate it. Real quick here, biggest steal of the year for me was adding AJ Brown from somebody dropped AJ Brown. They deserve to be smacked,
Yeah.
quite honestly.
Yeah.
That is pathetic. Why would they drop AJ Brown? That's crazy.
Can I join your fantasy league next time?
But real quick, we have Henry. He didn't have that good of a week. He did have 21 touches, just didn't really get anything going. James Conner was obviously a big letdown. Tyler Lockett, just that whole offense, except obviously DK stud, but Tyler Lockett not that good. Hopkins, obviously we talked about him. I honestly think Miami going forward is going to be a tough matchup, and Miami shouldn't be looked at as a bad team, bad defense. The running game for Miami isn't that good. Their run defense isn't, but their secondary is very good. Thielen didn't have that good of a game. I mean, they're just not throwing the ball because Dalvin Cook is just doing everything. Dude's amazing. And then you have Melvin Gordon, who I don't know what to do with Melvin Gordon, Philip Lindsay. Like those two guys, this is just like a backfield I want no part of. DJ Moore, are we going to start? He's had good games for sure. The targets really haven't been there. Like he's scored some longer touchdowns, but the targets as a whole for majority of the season really haven't been there. Mark Andrews talked about it. That was a dud performance. He played the hardest. That was the hardest defense to go against for tight ends. And then Marquise Brown, damn you, Marquise Brown. I thought you were going to be good this week and you didn't. So.
Yeah.
You really ever gonna I'm personally I'll never bank on a Ravens wide receiver with Lamar Jackson at the helm.
He's really accurate though. Gibson was dropped to waivers too, and this is a 12-man league. Yeah, hey, sign me up. Send me an invite next year. Who's trending up? All right, let's talk about some players that are trending up. Giggs, go ahead because I know you want to talk about this person.
Who?
Christian Kirk.
Whom? Oh yeah, Christian Kirk's my guy, guys. He's definitely the number 2 option. Like I don't know if people have Larry Fitzgerald rostered, but you should drop him.
I hope not. Yeah.
Christian Kirk is the deep threat, and he was getting hot last season near the end, and he's doing it again right now. So if that's someone who's out there, go pick him up because I think he's a stud in a high octane offense. So him moving forward, I think he's a solid wide receiver 3 it's a 4 at the minimum.
And we talked about Curtis Samuel, obviously. I want to just double check this real quick too, because I put down his right now only rostered in 29% of leagues. So yes, go out and get him if you're able to. He's like, I think Mike Davis is the first one, and then I'd probably put him second, honestly. Mike Davis and then him, how it goes priority wise, unless you need like a quarterback, I think. And that's somebody we haven't really talked about. Tua, in my opinion, I said he's like a league winner, but that's really a running back. But honestly, I think he has like massive potential. It's his second game. He scored over 21 fantasy points. Second game, I think going forward, honestly, he has an incredible ceiling with his rushing ability. So if he's available, I would really go and get him right now. And then also, I'm going to let you talk about this one because this is somebody you talked about as well, Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, Jerry Jeudy is someone I was concerned with at the beginning of the year because he wasn't getting enough targets. With Drew Lock back, it seems like he's his go-to guy. Noah Fant, he got hurt last game, so I don't expect him to be 100%. I'm not sure what Judy's schedule is going forward, but you have to remember they traded up to get him in the draft, so they obviously thought he was something special, and they wanted him on the team with Drew. So going forward, make sure that you're playing Jerry Jeudy because I think he's put together a couple games now where he's double-digit points.
And like I said, honestly, I think it's because they took him out of the slot and put KJ Hamler in the slot. And I just think that makes him much more versatile and allows him to play on the outside. And then he can also move back into the slot where they were just keeping him in the slot. So I think that has done them. And also KJ Hamler had a pretty good week as well last week. Yes, it was against the worst pass defense in the NFL, but still had a good week. Brian, what about you? Any players real quick? Hold on. These waivers are league winners for me. Well, for sure, if you're getting AJ Brown, or Jamison Crowder as well, my gosh, Justin Herbert, yeah. I mean, I'll say this about Justin Herbert: I don't think anybody predicted him to be this good. Which,
Right.
kudos to you, but still, that's a really good pickup. Who's trending up in your mind, Ryan?
No, I mean I like Evan Ingram. Evan Ingram is someone that he's literally for the last 3 years, 2 years, he's always had the potential. It's just, I mean, we talked about at the beginning when we started this like 2 months ago. We've talked about Evan Ingram so much because the dude has potential to be like one of the best tight ends in this league. He's athletic. They try to get him to him in creative ways. It's just the offenses look that bad where it never happened. The last few weeks, he started to put it together, and he's actually starting to look like the tight end one everyone always thought he could be.
Agreed. And also, we've talked about it plenty of times too on this show. Is that offensive line in New York is just terrible. So it throws everything off because when you don't have timing, when you're not able to get, I don't want to say 3-step drops because you should be able to, but if you can't take like 5-step drops and play action, you can't even get the play, running game going. It just throws off everything in the offense. So he's definitely have felt the ripple effects of all of that. And then what about David Moore? Who's David Moore? Giggs?
David Moore is he's a wide receiver for Seattle. He's their third wide receiver, and he's quietly had a good season. I think as teams start to realize they need to shut down Metcalf and Lockett, those are going to be the two players getting game plan for, and Seattle's always playing from behind, so they're passing. Moore could be a really sneaky pickup in a 12, 14-man league. If you're in an 8 or 10-man league, I'm not suggesting you go drop someone for him unless your team is, I don't know, unless you're rostering somebody who has 25 or less points on the season. But it's just like one of those deep dives. Maybe you can get some value from him, especially in touchdown leagues. Russell Wilson, I think he's on pace to have at least 40 passing touchdowns this season. So some of those have to go to someone else other than Lockett and Metcalf. So I think David Moore is a good sleeper, or maybe even a dynasty league. Who knows?
Real quick, we have a question in the chat from these receivers. Who are your top two? AJ Brown, Robert Woods, Jamison Crowder, Marquise Brown, or Antonio Brown? I'm going to say AJ Brown and Jamison Crowder, my opinion. What about you guys?
It's definitely AJ Brown as one. He's will probably be in all of ours once we give our opinion. I feel like the toss-ups between Robert Woods and Jamison Crowder. And honestly, it probably is a toss-up between the two. Both of them will have streaky weeks, I'm sure, where they put up 30 and the other one puts up like 8. I have always liked Robert Woods, but he's been so inconsistent where it makes it tough to. But I feel like more consistent-wise, Jamison Crowder is probably more consistent, even though this offense sucks.
And the other thing is with Jamison Crowder too, he's just never on the field. He's always missing time. He's like always has soft tissue injuries where he just can't stay in the field. What about you, Giggs?
Crowder's had a Q next to his name all year.
Like all season, right?
Yeah, so I don't know. It's tough. Who was the guy Ryan mentioned?
Robert Woods.
Yeah, he plays Seattle next week. So That's big.
Yeah.
I want that. I want every piece of it. I already made a FanDuel lineup with Goff, Woods, Cup, just hoping they air raid the whole game. But
Uh-huh.
it's something you gotta look at. I don't really trust Crowder or who's throwing him the ball. I think maybe the beginning of the season was the best you're gonna get, but it's gonna be a team playing from behind and they have to throw. But Mims is healthy now. It's getting a little crowded at wide receiver. It's a tough call though.
I think Giggs' points kind of convinced me the other way. I think I'm definitely going Robert Woods and AJ Brown now.
We'll see. We'll see. Well, let's go ahead. Real quick, let's
Hey, you
not
want to
wrap this.
know a
Get
red
close.
flag for AB?
What?
It was,
You're gonna say when he celebrated?
yeah. Did you see that?
Yeah, but I
Typical
mean,
AB.
yeah, but he hasn't played in a while. That's the only. I'll give him
I
a pass
guess.
just
Okay,
because.
okay, fair enough, fair enough. I guess I didn't really consider that. But when they lose that bad,
Yeah, you shouldn't be celebrating, but you
no,
see it
no,
all
I,
the.
I'm
You see
not
it.
saying that. I'm just saying that could turn into a bad
Oh
future
yeah,
with them if they
yeah.
continue to lose games like that. Yikes!
I don't think they will, but we'll
I don't
see.
either.
We'll see what
But like
happens.
you said, the NFC. Who else is there besides the Saints and Seattle?
And let's do this real quick. Ryan, go ahead one
I
more
guess
time. Go through
Arizona.
the parlay for the people.
Oh, okay. It was Jamison Crowder over 55.5 receiving yards. Jamison Crowder to score anytime, and Cam Newton to score anytime. A $10 bet on that wins you $105.
And anything else from you guys tonight? Anybody that you're keeping an eye on throughout the week? Obviously you're gonna have to keep an eye on Christian McCaffrey. And real quick, because I forgot to do this during the stream, Kirsty keeps telling me I got to do this. So hey, we have TikTok, we have Twitter, Facebook, we have so many different social medias. If you were, if maybe you're a fan of TikTok, follow us at the Aspire Sports Show. We have a TikTok. If you're a fan of Twitter, Aspire Sports _ Facebook page, Aspire Sports Show. We have a Facebook page. Just so many different things. We even have a Spotify, which I need to upload some more videos to Spotify. But if you like podcasts, hey, we do that as well. YouTube, obviously you're here, and if you haven't, like and subscribe. But we're everywhere. You can talk to us anytime. Ask us any questions that you have, whatever it may be. We'll respond. We'll give you our advice. Yeah. So any final thoughts for tonight's game, guys, that you're keeping an eye on throughout the week?
It's about
As
to
far
be
as
ugly. This game's about to
tonight's
be
game,
ugly, folks.
no, but I hope I see a good Patriots. I hope I see Cam Newton look solid because I want this dude to do well. So I'm hoping we see a good game for Cam Newton tonight. At least tolerable.
Just why don't you date him already?
Kyle, anything that you got to keep track of throughout the week?
Yeah.
Steve?
Steve is going to be doing a special show with us on Friday, and I think we're going to just be talking mostly about soccer. So if you're a big soccer fan, tune
That's always
in.
a big
It'll
thing.
be on jeff.com. No, but I think tonight, make sure you put that bet in for Rex Burkhead because
Already
that's a
missed
hook,
it.
line, and sinker.
Well, hopefully they already put 350
Oh
on
yeah,
it.
and if you haven't, well, that's your problem.
Real quick, Josh Jacobs, Gibson, Fournette, and Drake. Who are your top three? Jacobs, Gibson, Fournette. Probably Drake though when he comes back. Go Browns! No, don't go Browns. The Browns suck. No, I'm just kidding. No, hey, I hope so. Oh, and I do want to say this: waiver wire pickups. Austin Hooper right now. He's only rostered. I got to double check his number right now. Let me check real quick. 39% of leagues, rostered 39% of leagues. His previous 3 games when he was healthy, and this is without Odell, I believe, for 2 of them. When he was healthy, averaged 5 receptions, 48 yards, and 7 targets per game, which is pretty good for tight end position. You think of all the tight ends. That's decent production. That's pretty good production. Throwing a touchdown, that's a pretty good fantasy day from your tight end. So if you need a tight end, go out and get Austin Hooper. With that, anything else? Final thoughts?
No.
Thrive Fantasy,
Real
sign up.
quick, who's going to win tonight? Kyle.
I think it's going to be the Patriots, and I think that the Jets are going to
By
lead
how
them on
much?
for a little bit, and I think it's going to be 26-13.
26-13. Ryan, real quick.
Patriots cover 24-10, and the game ends at 11:08 p.m.
Darren Waller, best tight end. Second best. Kelsey's the best. Giggs, go ahead real quick. Who wins?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I'll go ahead and do mine. I'll say the Patriots win, and it's going to be 28-10. So with that being said, thank you for watching. If you haven't already, like, subscribe. We'll be back here live on Thursday night, 7:30 to around the same time, 8:30, 8:20. We'll be live to forecast the upcoming week, also that game, answer any questions you have. And then also Sunday, there's our big show. We're going to change that time now from 11 to 12:30, or not 12:30, to 12:45, basically 1 o'clock. So Jamison Crowder gonna make me regret my 30. He's dropping 30 tonight. He is. So everyone have a good evening. Good luck, and see you later. Bye.
Good luck, guys.